Egyptian Counter-Reformation. Tell el-Amarna, the noonday sun. Kiya. While we thus have 6 daughters of Akhenaten and Nefertiti alive in year 12, it is quite possible that other children may have been born during their years of marriage, which presumably went back to the earliest years of the reign of Amenhotep IV, as he then was. Given the level of pre-modern infant mortality, it is likely that some could have died without featuring on the monuments. It is also not unlikely that boys were born as well as girls, but any who might have survived infancy would also generally have missed monumental commemoration by the decorum that had apparently excluded princes from royal family tableaus for generations. Looking back through Egyptian history, royal sons are conspicuous by their absence from the monuments, apart from the short period during the 4th dynasty when many held key offices of state. Indeed, during the Middle Kingdom only 2 princes are known. Our first real glimpse into the world of the kings' sons is only gained when the practice began of assigning princes to nobles for their education. Then, the subsequent desire of these worthies to commemorate this signal honor on their own monuments gives us the names of New Kingdom princes who would otherwise be unknown. In addition, certain sons were given formal posts in the priesthoods and thus can appear on monuments in that guise. For example, Prince Thutmose B, elder son of Amenhotep III, who appears in the funerary chapel of the contemporary Apis bull by virtue of his office as high priest of Ptah. However, in the very same reign, Amenhotep III is accompanied only by his wife and daughters where the royal family icon is being used, whether in 2 or 3 dimensions. Thus the absence of male children depicted among Akhenaten and Nefertiti's brood in the Amarna tomb should by no means be taken as indicating they had no such offspring. That there was a male royal child at Amarna is shown by a block found at Ishmunin brought across from Amarna as building stone under Ramesses II, mentioning a king's son of his body, his beloved Tutankhaten. The latter seems to have been shown facing a princess whose name, on the adjacent block, is unfortunately now lost, apart from the Eton element. Coming from an Amarna temple, the block's status as a strong piece of evidence for Akhenaten's paternity of Tutankhaten has now been fairly, generally admitted by scholars. On the other hand, the identity of the child's mother has been much debated. Nefertiti has generally been dismissed out of hand, essentially on the basis of the prince's absence from the family groups at Amarna. With her out of the way, other than appealing to the existence of some unknown secondary wife or concubine, the most often cited candidate for Tutankhaten's mother has been the greatly beloved wife Kiya. This lady has always been something of a mystery. Her title is unique to her. No other royal spouse is known to have used it at any time in Egyptian history, and is always extended to specifically link her to Akhenaten. Her origins are wholly obscure, a suggestion that she might be Tadakpur, a princess from the North Syrian state of Mitanni who had been sent to Egypt as a diplomatic bride, is interesting but without direct evidence. Kiya is known from a range of monuments and objects, but in most cases they have been usurped by other persons during Akhenaten's reign. Her coffin was adapted for a pharaoh's burial, while most of her relief representations were recut and relabeled for Princess Meritaten or on occasion Ankhesenparten, implying disgrace. Given that both earlier and later Eton names were used on Kiya material, her career extended either side of year 9 or 10, but as many of her monuments were usurped in the name of Meritaten before the latter's elevation to queenship around year 13, it would seem that Kiya was disgraced well before this time. Nothing in all this suggests that she might have been the mother of the heir to the throne, although she certainly bore a daughter, and Kiya's candidature seems essentially to be a case of anyone but Nefertiti.